Hey, John Cruz here, and it is time to change the oil in my new Mercury 4-stroke 250, and that means I've put at least 100 hours on it. So every 100 hours, you're gonna have to do this oil change, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is because it's so easy, even I can do it. All right, real quick, all I'm gonna show you is the parts that you're gonna need to do this. Obviously, you're gonna need some oil. We've got the 25W40. Now you can use conventional oil or you can use the synthetic blend. Totally up to you. Mercury says you can do either way. I'm gonna use the synthetic blend. I just have a little more trust in the synthetic, so that's what I'm gonna be using. You need to have the Mercury oil filter. We're gonna put the exact model number that you're gonna need down at the bottom. I got this from a Mercury dealer, Conrad Brothers, down here locally. You're gonna need a socket with a long socket with a 5/8. And then you're gonna need a funnel, and then you need something to put your oil into when it comes out, because you could use conventional, or you could just get a couple milk jugs, because this motor holds 7 quarts of oil, so that is almost 2 gallons. That's why we have 2 gallons of that. But this thing is so nifty. I'm gonna show you a little trick. You can put it into these milk jugs, then you can just take it to your local auto parts retailer and then have them pour that into their recycle oil, and be a real easy way to carry it, transport it. Plus, you're gonna need one other thing. You're gonna need some clear vinyl tubing. This is 1/2 inch. They say 7/16 is what you need, but the 1/2 inch will work just fine. You need that clear vinyl tubing. You can get it at Lowe's, somewhere like that. You just plug it right in to the hole. You'll see how to use that. So this is all you need to do your oil change. All right, the first step is you want to tilt your engine forward. This is up a little bit from where I've been traveling, but you're gonna run it up. Take your motor toter off. I'm gonna go ahead and run it up a little bit more. And what you're doing is that oil needs to drain up to the front before you run it back down and drain it on the other side, which I'll show you as the next step. So just leave it up there for about a minute, then you can run it down and we'll get started. All right, so we had enough time to let that oil drain to the front. Now we trim the motor down, and this is where it's gonna drain. This is really, really cool. So you take your 5/8 socket, just put it on there, and all you're gonna do with the socket is just crack it loose to where it's loose, and then you're gonna put your vinyl tubing on there, and then you're gonna turn it 2.5 times is what they recommend. So I'm gonna make 1, 2, and that's a 1/2. If you go too far, what's going to happen is they said you'll damage the seal in there if you try to undo it all the way. So what I did is I cut my tube just long enough to where it can go right into the milk jug. Pretty slick. All right, now that didn't take long for the 7 quarts to drain out of there. As you can see, it's just dripping right now, so it's pretty much done. So all we're going to do is hand tighten it back up. 2.5 turns should be about it. Just take that off, take my socket, and tighten it back down. You want to wipe that off, and then we'll go up here and get the filter before we fill it back up. Now with the new Mercury 4-strokes, the cowling is a little different. Pretty easy to take off. You just press on there, it pops right up. Then there's a little handle. You push the red button down, then that goes up. That unlocks everything inside of the motor. You gotta break it loose. Comes right off, and then we can get to everything we need to get to. First of all, we're gonna change the filter, and then we'll fill it up right there. So before you pull the filter off, you wanna pull this little oil port and use the same size there to just be ready. I've got that into my jug down there to be ready. If any oil wants to drain out, I can be ready. It can just come right down there Go right into my jug here. I didn't mention it before, but you may want to get yourself one of these handy dandy oil filter helpers. Use that bad boy to cinch it on there. You pull all day long, you won't get that thing off. Now it just comes right off. All right, so now we took the old one off. We put the new one on, but before you put the new one on, you want to make sure you put yourself a nice little seal of fresh oil. So I just opened up the oil container. Got myself some new oil, throw it on there. Get a nice good coating on it. And then we'll just put it right back. Put it right on there. And that'll do it. And then we'll take our drain up, put that little port back in there. Now we're ready to fill it up. All right, now the last step is to just open up the top and put 7 quarts of oil back in this old bad boy. So I'm gonna break out your funnel, and then just put this whole gallon in there, and then we'll make sure we put 3 of the 4 quarts out of the other gallon. That's gonna do it. So all I'm gonna do is put the cap back on. I put my 7 quarts back into this big beast, and all I've got to do now is put the cowling back on. And they recommend for after the first 5 minutes of, say, idling, you want to check and make sure that there's no leaks, especially around your oil filter and anywhere else. And then you can always check, just like a car, you can check to make sure that your oil is at the right levels through this handy little switch right there. But that's it. That's all there is to it. See, I told you, even a bass professional angler can change his own oil with the new Mercury 4-stroke Pro XS 250. That's it.